Love you. Here's Robert Blake on Piers Morgan.
Do you remember the night that she died well, or is it now
his ex-wife? Were they married?
Do you
at the
remember
time?
your President Nixon? Yeah, he remembers.
Her name was Bonnie.
He remembers.
Were they married at the time that she was murdered?
I think they were estranged, whatever that means.
Well, weren't they going to a restaurant together, and he went back in to get his keys or something weird, and all of a sudden there was a hit?
Yeah. She's outside.
What the fuck? How did he get away with this?
He's like, yeah, I forgot my shit inside.
Right.
He goes in.
Conveniently.
And conveniently, when he's inside,
she's murdered.
She gets fucking murdered outside.
When you said, do you remember President Nixon?
Yes.
Why don't you go to the map and have one of the callers, take the red tack out and see if they know what song that's from for a prize.
See?
Do you know what song that's from?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go to your map.
Old Jizz Belly sang it.
No.
Old Jizz Gut.
No, that was Bowie.
Yeah.
What?
He was Jizz Gut, too.
He was Jizz Gut, too?
Yeah.
Bowie
Bowie
wasn't making out with Mick Jagger.
Swallowed so much of Jagger's jizz, and then Jagger swallowed so much of his jizz. They're just pumping stomachs. It's crazy.
They're all just sleeping with each other.
You're choking on that?
Are you choking on jizz?
He's choking like some guy that knows what that tastes like.
Yeah, why such a reaction?
Oh,
It's disgusting. Think
A little
of
too close to home, huh? No, what's the song? I really don't know.
Changes.
Is it? Yeah. Right?
Wait, what's the lyric?
Young Americans.
Oh, yeah.
What's the lyric again, Ed?
That was the one where he goes, you do remember your President Nixon.
Oh, right.
The bills you had to pay, or even yesterday. Yeah, that one.
I like some Bowie.
I saw fucking Bowie in concert.
Was he
great.
good?
Oh, fucking great.
Yeah,
that's a surprise.
We did Ziggy Stardust. That's when he came out with Ziggy Stardust.
Yeah.
That was a good album.
What year was that? Were you a crackhead?
No, I was coke.
Oh, okay. Oh.
That was before crack. I didn't go to concerts when I did crack. Who has time for concerts?
Well, it's time for anything but crack.
Did
I ever tell the story when me and my buddy Buzzy were fucked up on cocaine and we went to a James Taylor show?
Oh,
and we were in
wow.
the front row?
Good choice of fucking
That's
artist.
why it's funny. We were making a complete asses of ourselves. Because we were wired, and everyone's just chilling because he's just singing his tiny little mellow
Singing
songs.
his little mellow
but
songs,
to us,
you're
we were at
wired.
a Metallica show. Did I ever tell this story?
No.
And we got kicked out?
You got kicked out of a concert?
Yeah, because we were completely over the top.
I've seen.
But I
Grinding your
remember,
teeth.
I remember the day. To us, we thought we were acting appropriately.
Well, don't you look
And he's
out.
just like,
Oh, my
Jesus.
God.
doing Fire and Rain, and we're thinking it's Enter Sandman in our heads.
You gotta help me take a stand.
I seen fire and I seen... Yeah, motherfucker! Sing it, you fuck!
That's pretty much what was happening.
Days that I thought would never... Whoa! Motherfucker!
Did I ever tell this story on the air? We were like an hour late, and we thought that was normal. And then we
Sing it, you motherfucker!
we took our seats. We were singing a little too loud. We were doing the sing-alongs when no one else was singing along.
Oh, man. Embarrassing.
And I believe it got to a point where James Taylor completely noticed us, and we got kicked out.
You gotta help me make a stand.
Woo! Yeah, motherfucker! Love this fuck!
We were so zooted. We were fucked
know,
up,
we went to see-
and really...
Coke will fucking do shit to you.
We went to see the New York Dolls. We were tripping our brains out. It was Halloween night at the Waldorf Astoria, and everybody's fucking trends. It's all gay. The New York Dolls had a big gay following.
Certainly did.
Hence why you were there.
The best costumes, and we're all fucking fucked up on blotter acid.
Yeah.
And I told him, on blotter acid, and we're sitting on a table, and the lead singer had a gun that shot light with a snare drum. It
Yeah.
was like a machine gun shooting light, and we're tripping.
Oh, that'll freak you out.
And we're fucking freaking out. Then we go outside to look for our car. His mother's. We go to a cop. We go, "Where's our car?" And he goes, "Oh, it was probably impounded." But we thought he meant compounded into a little square because we were tripping. We go, "Oh,
Big
your mother's
Joe's fucking car in tow,
We
and
go, "Your mother's car is a paperweight."
no one that'll be missed.
That's great.
Fucking little cube.
up.
You were fucked up.
We were so funny, and we're walking around all depressed, and we see the car, and then it was like fireworks and Jesus and everything.
Compacted, impounded, compounded, compacted. You are fucked up, Rich Voss.
James Taylor and Coke.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds fun.
I was the good old days.
Those were great concerts back then.
Yep.
Were they?
We really thought we were seeing
Fuck.
some fucking loud, over-the-top thing. Anyway, here's Robert Blake.
Yeah, let's hear Robert
on
Blake.
the murder of his, I think it was his wife at the time, Bonnie.
Well, or is it now something you've blocked out of your head?
No, I remember it quite well.
You went and had dinner at this restaurant.
Where are you going?
Oh.
I'm interested in what happened.
No, you're not interested. The guy, what are you doing? What the hell are you doing?
Let me help you. Let me take this out of my ear. There's no one talking to me. Okay? You haven't got to worry. There is nobody talking to me. These are my questions for you, which are based, in my view, perfectly
Now
legitimately
you want to know what
on your
happened
story.
that night?
I'm curious, yeah.
No, you're not.
I am, because you were acquitted.
I thought you said you researched all this, so you know what happened that night.
I know the facts of the night. I'm
What?
curious about...
Tell me about the facts of the night.
You take your wife for dinner to a restaurant.
Go ahead.
Your wife goes to the car. You go back to retrieve, as you say, your gun, which is in the restaurant. And when you return, your wife has been shot dead. When they test the gun that you go and retrieve, that is not the same gun that killed her. Am I right so far?
So far.
Right, so I'm
Roughly,
factually
yes.
correct. I have no agenda here, at all. You clearly think I do, but I don't.
It sounds boring as hell, but go ahead.
I don't think it's boring. Your wife got murdered.
No, but your questions are boring. I mean, even what you just said. Are you sure the people at Tibet give about any of this?
What? What was that part?
In bed.
Oh, people that are
Watching,
in bed, like
yeah.
they're watching in bed.
Oh.
He doesn't understand. It is pretty compelling to hear a guy that you think might have murdered, or at least had his wife murdered, kind of a thing.
Well-
Talk about the murder. It is compelling.
But in all fairness to Robert Blake, hasn't this been talked about a million times? Why is it being brought up now?
But why is he doing it?
Hasn't he-
Yeah, why is he out right
wrote a
now?
book.
What's he doing?
He wrote a book.
He wrote a book.
Oh, so he's
life.
rarely out, so it would be in line to ask him about this?
Well, yeah, it's in the book.
Come on, it's in the book.
Oh, and it's in the book. Okay.
That's his life.
All
What, you
right.
want to ask him about when he was little Mickey on the Little Rascals?
Right. 79 years old, by the way, and it looks like he could still beat the shit out of a lot of people.
79?
That's what I just looked up. 79 for Robert Blake. 1933, right? 67 plus 12. That's 79 in my mind.
1933? Yeah, he was one of the
79.
later on during the shitty Little Rascals. He was in that one,
Right.
where Spanky was all fat, fat Spanky, and fucking Darla had started getting giant tits on her.
Buckwheat was allowed to sit on the front of the bus.
Well, not really. Not quite.
no.
Hal Roach put fucking knew how to put them in their place. Jesus, that guy was a fucking racist prick.
Who was Hal
Hal
Roach?
Roach, yeah, the fucking guy that
You
put
don't
all
remember-
that shit together.
You don't remember the sweat on the wall?
When Stymie fucking was sweating, working on the over the stove, and he went to take the sweat, he wiped his forehead and flung his hand to fling the sweat off, and it was brown all along
Brown
the fucking
spots on the
yeah,
wall?
black fucking
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Where his sweat would have been black because he was a black guy.
Yeah.
How he had fucking Spanky and Stymie and shit running past fire.
Yep.
That was flying out, and it was no CGI back then. They lit fires.
There was real fire.
and
They
had
would
children
shoot
run
at
through
him.
it.
Do you remember
great.
when the 1910 Fruit Gum Company played in the radio station, and the guy's hair popped out?
That wasn't the 1910 Fruit Gum Company.
Who were
It was
they?
the International Silver String Submarine Band.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
And they play the Man on the Flying
And
Trapeze.
then the guy's head.
Yeah, and the engineer, his hair would pop out. That was me back
You-
in
you look-
the 80s. Exactly.
Actually, you look really good. Have you not drink it for a day?
Thank you. For a day. Actually, well, nah, technically, no.
You got a good glow.
I'm tan. I honestly have not been partaking in as much booze as I have been. Not funny. You motherfucker. That's funny. Not for any reason. I don't feel like I'm as. For some reason, I'm just not as into getting hammered as much as I
She can't get
was.
into bars.
No,
Oh, jeez.
Were you kidding?
You're all hip today, aren't you? Oh, shit. Yeah, that's Robert Blake right there. We're watching a
Which
little
one?
clip from Our Gang. The kid in the middle, the little kid in the middle. The shortest one. Oh, God, Alfalfa. Alfalfa wind up getting... Yeah, that's kid on the left is Robert Blake.
That's Robert Blake.
Yeah. Oh, Froggy. Yeah, he's on the right. That's Robert Blake.
He's not in...
These are the later ones that really sucked. Look at Alfalfa.
Yeah, he looks a little too old for his bow tie.
Yeah. And they were always making him sing. I'm a crooner. These were terrible. Look at Fat Spanky. Oh, buckwheat.
You know they kept him fat, too, right?
Oh, yeah. Spanky was hilarious in the early ones when he was a kid with a monkey. Fucking wreaking havoc in the orphanage.
All right, let's get back
these
to
are
Robert Blake.
Terrible.
Because we're going to run out of show, and then we're not going to get to the Bonnie blowjob thing from the podcast.
Shit.
This Robert Blake shit is really good.
I think you're here because you've written a book about your life.
Yeah.
And I would argue...
There's a lot more to my life
I'm sure
than
there is.
that night.
But there's probably...
Beretta.
Yeah, but you know what? If you're part of a whole murder thing, I'm sorry, but
People kind of want to hear about that.
Nobody
you can
cares
be as
about
frustrated as you want, but that's got to come up every time.
All of a sudden-
Nobody gives a fuck about the parrot.
No,
And no
as
one really... No one really wants to talk to OJ about his Heisman.
Exactly.
You know? It's pretty much...
Sucks to be you, but unfortunately,
Yeah.
you know, this is the highlight of your life.
I'm sure
Than
there is.
that night.
But there's probably nothing more significant in your life than... Really? Than the murder of your wife?
I didn't murder my wife. It may be significant to you.
I didn't say you did.
But it isn't
I said,
to me.
I
You said there's nothing more significant.
than the murder of your wife.
Personally, it's not the most significant thing in my life.
What has
the
been-
most significant thing in my life is when I was 2 years old and I found an audience. The next most significant thing is when I went to MGM as an extra, and 3 years later I starred in my first film. You know,
I don't know.
America just was going to war. It was the worst time in the world for America, but there's nothing more significant than a little boy with no parents, no friends, nothing, walking into MGM and 3 years later starring in his first film. You know how significant that is? No, because you've never lived my life.
Oh, God.
I think the murder thing really kind of puts all that other stuff
still
kinda
above
in the
all
back
that
seat.
stuff. Yes.
Kind of in the back seat, a little bit.
Oh, wow. Piers asked Robert Blake if he's sane. Oh, no, this ain't going to play out well.
Oh, you Piers.
Do you think you're sane?
What?
Do you think you're sane? Do you think you have your full sanity? Or has what's happened to you sent you slightly mad? What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you. I think I was born. The truth is, I think I'm sort of a mutation or a subspecies. I think if I was born 10,000 years ago, I would have taken 2 or 3 people, gone off and started another tribe.
How much do you blame
I
your parents?
I don't blame anybody. That book is about God.
What?
God kept me alive in a womb when my mother tried to abort me with coat hangers twice.
Jesus.
God kept me alive for the first 2 years of my life when nobody gave a whether I lived or died. God showed me where that sidewalk was and I started dancing. When I got out here, I was 5 years old. I stood in front of MGM and I said, I can do this. And I walked in there. 3 years later, I starred in my first film.
Wait, he's just a 5-year-old going out to
He's
Hollywood?
5. He's fucking walking around the streets.
Wait,
Hey,
he said,
motherfucker.
but wait, he said 8, now 8. He was in his first film. I thought it was 3.
I don't know. Was he in an orphanage out there in Hollywood?
I would assume.
And they just let him out as a 5-year-old? And he went to MGM?
The
I'm confused.
foundlings took me in. The foundlings.
With a coat hanger stuck out of his leg.
Yeah, old coat hanger head.
How does he know his mom?
He's bobbing and weaving in that womb. Oh, man. Whoa, almost got me.
I don't remember when I was 4, more or less when I was in the womb.
Yeah.
Oh, coat hanger.
And she tried to abort me twice. All right, who pulled her out on the heat? Beretta.
I think I'm a mutation. That's wonderful.
Don't do the crime if you can't do the time with. Don't do it. Remember that shit?
Sort of. I sort of know it, yeah. Robert thinks Piers is calling him a liar.
Yeah.
You want to